They say some people chase freedom, but tonight, Soapy is chasing prison cell. In a city that's forgotten him, he's not looking for shelter, he's looking for a reason to be seen. This is a modern retelling of O. Henry's classic, The Cop and the Anthem, reimagined for our times. A story about survival, irony, and the strange places hope can hide. If you love modern retelling of timeless classics, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell icon for more stories that bring old souls back to life. As the first frost of winter crept through, Soapy, a man in his 50s, a part of the homeless crowd in downtown, sat hunched on a worn park bench. The wind cut through his tattered coat, ruffling the edges and sending a chill deep into his bones. He shivered, not just from the cold, but from the realization that the harsh months ahead would be even more unforgiving. Soapy had a plan, a yearly ritual, really, one he had executed many times before. His goal was simple: get arrested. A short stay in jail promised warmth, 3 daily meals, and a bed with blankets, luxuries he couldn't afford on the streets. And if he timed it right, he could spend the coldest months snug and safe, only to emerge in the spring with nothing but a few minor inconveniences and a renewed sense of survival. With determination, Soapy made his way to an upscale restaurant, imagining the drama of ordering a meal and then proudly announcing that he couldn't pay. He pictured the manager calling the police, the clatter of silverware falling during the kerfuffle, and his triumphant escort to a cell. He could picture, clear as day, the nice rare steak with a side of red wine and the tiramisu dessert he was planning to order but not planning to pay for. This was his favorite part, as it would have his tummy packed with deliciousness while he is on his way to the joint. He pushed the door open and peered inside, only to be met by the maitre d', a stern but polite man who gave him a long, appraising look. "I'm sorry, sir, we're fully booked tonight," he said. Soapy's shoulders slumped. "Just my luck," he muttered. He hadn't even gotten a chance to pick a table or scan the menu. The first step of his carefully orchestrated plan had already failed. He stepped back into the chilly street, muttering to himself about how hard it had become to commit even the simplest crime in the city these days. Refusing to be discouraged, Soapy scouted the street for another suitable strategy. His eyes fell on the gleaming glass window of a high-end boutique. With a determined scowl, he picked up a discarded brick and hurled it at the window. It shattered it with a satisfying crack, almost. Soapy waited for the inevitable arrival of the police, imagining the clinking of handcuffs and the stern lecture that would follow. But when the siren came, they were not interested in Soapy. The cops asked him if he has seen who has thrown the brick. Soapy said nothing but just smiled year to year, looking proud of himself. The cops didn't take the hint and ended up chasing after a man with a backpack and a baseball hat who looked more like a criminal compared to Soapy. Soapy, realizing the misunderstanding, backed away, shaking his head. "I can't even get arrested for breaking a window anymore," he muttered, brushing shards of glass from his sleeves. Undeterred, Soapy decided to try Dine and Dash once more, though this time he aimed for a quieter, more modest diner. He walked in, glanced at the menu, and ordered a hearty meal: eggs, bacon, toast, and a steaming cup of coffee. He ate slowly, savoring each bite, and then leaned back ready to make his announcement. "I'm sorry," he said loudly. "I can't pay for this meal. Please call the police." The waitress, a young woman named Clara, looked at him with mild amusement and a gentle smile. Don't worry about it, hon, she said, shrugging. Take a sandwich on your way out. You look like you need it more than we do. Sophie stared at her, incredulous. He had planned a grand arrest, but instead he was escorted out with a bagged lunch. The city seemed determined to foil him at every turn. With his previous attempts failing, Soapy moved to a different strategy. He lingered on the corner, his hands buried deep in his pockets, eyes darting between the streetlight and the passing crowd. The night was crisp, the kind that made a man dream of radiators and bad coffee in a holding cell. Across the street, a woman leaned against a wall, her jacket too short for the wind, her smile too practiced to be friendly. He approached her intending to, well, cause annoyance and bother. He rehearsed his line in his head, smooth, confident, and sleazy, sure to attract attention. Hey there, you're looking for a good time or just looking lost? Sophie's approach was simple. Solicitation and maybe public indecency and get a textbook arrest. She looked at him almost amused. Hello, old man. You look like trouble. Exactly what I'm going for. He sounded more excited than he intended. How about you and I make some noise for the cops? She blinked. Excuse me? He winked dramatically. You know, a little street performance. Her expressions shifted from fake flirtation to genuine concern. Are you filming some prank video, old man? What the hell? What is this? Before Soapy could answer, she hurried off, heels clicking. A real cop passed moments later, sipping coffee, not even glancing his way. Soapy sighed. The city used to arrest a man for breathing too loud. Now, you had to schedule it. Soapy, feeling defeated, stopped mid-shout and sank onto the cold stone steps of a nearby home across from a church. As he sat there staring at the church's stained glass windows, something unexpected happened. The musing coming out of the church stirred a long-buried thought in him. Perhaps it was time to change his life, to try living honestly, and maybe also try to find work? He rose slowly, dusted off his coat, and decided to take a walk, leaving his criminal plans behind, at least for now. Just as he stepped off the cold stairs of the house, a police officer called sharply, Stop! Is this your home? Soapy froze. Trespassing. The very charge he had never considered as part of his plan was what finally landed him in handcuffs. He smiled wryly as he was led toward the squad car. This winter, he would have warmth, food, and a bed, just as he had originally intended. Better here than out there freezing, he muttered under his breath as the city lights flickered all around him.